You are listening to the People First podcast.
People First is a self-advocacy group run by people with learning disabilities, and People First podcast is a platform to raise awareness about real issues that affect people with learning disabilities in our community and all around the world.
We aim to inform and entertain our listeners by interviewing interesting guests and talking about the things that really matter to us. This is like having a stage to speak out and get our voices heard.
Hello and welcome to the People First podcast. Today we are welcoming Jess onto our show. Jess is an artist and has worked with People First in the past to run an art day, which we really enjoyed. Welcome back to the show, Jess. We have some questions for you. I hope you enjoy being on the show. How did you get into art as a young person?
When I was very, very little, I really struggled to talk. I was very late to learn to talk, and then when I did learn, I was not very confident at it. And my mum and dad were just really good at giving me creative things to do at home as a kind of way, a little outlet and a way to communicate. And I just soon learned how good it was a tool to communicate with, and just how much I loved it. I just couldn't stop doing it, really.
Have you studied art? If so, where and what did you learn?
Yeah, I have studied art. It was quite a long time ago now. When I left school, I went to Craven College, which I really enjoyed because they kind of really pushed me outside of my comfort zone and got me trying new things. Then I went on to Leeds College of Art to do a foundation course, which was really great as well. The tutors there are really inspiring, and I tried lots of new things such as performance art and installation and video, and then I went to London to study fine art at Central St Martin's, and that was amazing too. Just being in a completely new place was really amazing and inspiring, and I think I learned a lot just from being there, really.
What sort of art do you like doing most and why?
Well, I think what I like doing changes. I like to try new things all the time and push myself to explore new ways of developing my art practice. So at the minute I'm exploring painting, which I really loved when I was younger. It was one of the first things I tried. But when I went to college and I tried different things, I kind of felt like I hadn't done painting for a very long time. So now that I'm trying it again, it feels like it's new again, and it's quite exciting, and I like how it's very instinctive and quite sensory when you're using the paints.
Do you run art classes? What are they like?
I do run odd art classes. I don't run them regularly, like every week, but I do workshops with people in different places, and I've tried all sorts of different things, really. I love working with people. I've worked in the past in schools supporting children with complex needs, and I found that using art with people was a really good way to sort of enrich people's lives and develop communication with people. Right now, I've got a lot of time to develop my own art practice, but I also do the odd workshop with people. I'm doing some work with the Bronte Parsonage Museum at the minute, and a charity called 1 in a Million, which is based in Bradford. And we run an art club once a month at Sue Belcher Centre in Brackenbank. And this is an after-school club for children who live in Brackenbank. And it's just really fun, giving them experiences that they might not always have, to try new things.
Why is it important that people have the chance to do art?
I think it's such a powerful tool to enrich people's lives and increase people's well-being, and I just think people should have the chance to explore as many things as they want in life, really. You know, the more we try, the more we learn about ourselves and the world, and art's a really good way to learn about different things and each other. So I just think everybody should have these chances, whether they've got a disability or not, really.
In particular, why is it important that people with disabilities have an opportunity to be creative?
I think just sort of what I was saying before about everybody having the opportunities, but I think because art is such a great tool to communicate, often it can be used in a way, if somebody struggles to maybe communicate in other ways, such as talking or writing or signing, art can be another tool again to help you express either how you're feeling or tell a story, and you know, it can be a really powerful tool to aid this, as well as just being very fun and really good for your well-being. So yeah, it's a good all-rounder, really.
How important is the role of art as a communication tool?
I think it's very important. It's sort of like how I got into art. So for me, I think I've learnt along the way as I've grown up that between people, often there's things that aren't said in a conversation that can be just as important as the words that are said. So maybe how someone's feeling, or a subject that they want to talk about but it's quite hard to talk about, and art can be really good at bridging these gaps between people.
Could you tell us about your work in relation to cognitive behavioural therapy?
Yeah, sure. Cognitive behavioural therapy is something that explains about how your thoughts, what you think, can affect how you feel, and how you feel can affect how you behave, and then how you behave can affect what sort of reactions you have in life. So either how other people react or what happens in your life because of how you've behaved. And all these different aspects, all these different things are interlinked. And if you change one of them, it might affect the outcome of all the others. So I've used this as a tool when I'm being creative. I was quite poorly a few years ago. I had TB, and after having TB, I lost my confidence quite a lot. So being creative again was quite a big thing for me. I kind of thought, oh, what I'm making might be rubbish. It's not going to be what people like, and so I used cognitive behavioural therapy to challenge all my negative thoughts, and use it as a tool to push myself to be more creative and try new things. And then at the same time, it's touched on the subject matter that my work's about. So I've done quite a lot of work recently about my hometown, Keighley. And growing up here, I think I just accepted it was the norm that people often put Keighley down, and was quite negative about it. And I started to wonder at how this negativity might affect the lives of people living in it. And so I decided to start to paint all the things that I really loved about Keighley and all the positive things. And so I put on an exhibition in the centre of Keighley for people to come see and have conversations about Keighley that weren't just negative, to encourage positivity.
What inspires you to make art and be creative?
There's so much stuff that inspires me, and I think throughout my life different things have inspired me. Different artists have inspired me, but I think the main thing that I come back to is just people, how we live together, the sort of issues that arise between us, and how, people really. There's some lovely artists that are inspiring me right now, a local artist of Bradford called Martin Hearn is amazing at capturing everyday life in Bradford very beautifully. And another artist, Gary Crowder, who's from Keighley originally, and he just uses paint in a way that's really expressive and quite raw, which I really love. But people really inspire me the most, and it's something I always come back to.
What do you love most about being an artist?
I think it just makes me happy. When I haven't made art, I feel wrong. I don't feel myself. It's really hard to live without it, and it's almost like an addiction, really. Can't really stop making art.
That's all we have time for. Thanks so much for coming in and talking to us today, Jess. We've had a really good time learning about your work, and we hope you have had a good time speaking to us. Do you have anything else to add before we sign off?
Just thank you for having me. It's been so lovely to meet you all again, and I love talking about art and seeing what you guys get up to. It's been great to see how you do your podcast, and lovely to meet you again.
No problem. Been great having you.
Thanks for having me.
As always, please like and draw the picture with your friends to help our show get more listeners. You can find us on social media as the People First Podcast. Thanks for listening and see you next time.